This are the effect can be felt over matlab it cannot be sometime we feel immediately the effect of pollution of water, but after a long time we can feel more the contamination of water pollution. So what are the sources of water pollution? What are the sources? What are the water pollutants? Water pollutants are the biological agents. First thing, the pathogenic organisms like viruses, bacteria, and protozoas, which are the very harmful for human health. It creates the uh, uh, cholera, dysentery, and other flu, typhoids, and such type of ailments are there due to the then the hepatitis, jaundice due to the biological agents. Biological agents means which are pathogenic in nature due to create the due to viruses, bacteria. As all we know, pandemic was spread. This is the biological pollution due to the biological. This was the virus which is causing the this COVID-19. That is a biological agent. That was the virus. So this is a biological pollution or biological pollutants. So such type of diseases causes, and some insects is also causes malaria, dengue. We are facing dengue every year due to the mosquito. So such type of yellow fever. There are the flies causes, and the mosquito also causes the filaria. Filariasis. This is mostly in India. We find in the some southern state and some eastern parts of the UP. We observe the filariasis, filaria in such type of area in the eastern UP especially, not in the western UP or Haryana or Punjab and other states. The filaria is confined to the eastern UP districts and some south in Rajamundry, in Andhra Pradesh, and some very few parts of India. We observe the filariasis, and these are the biological agents which are caused by the pathogens, viruses, bacteria, and some insects. Then there are the chemical agents. Chemical pollutants are they are organic or inorganic in nature. Uh, or inorganic, what are the are salt and
So your voice is cracking.
pollutants are what they include? They include the oil, gases, dyes, pesticides, which creates other gases, and they reacts with other atmospheric gases and sunlight vapors. Then they create the pollutants. They are so, and then there is a radioactive pollution, radiation. So, what are the radioactive substances which causes the pollutants? Chemical policy pollutants are the uranium waste from research laboratories, as research laboratories or hospitals. The hospital waste is also causes the releases the radioactive substances from X-ray films and other equipments we are using nowadays into the as a medical equipments. So organic waste and inorganic nutrients like phosphates and nitrates enrich the water bodies. Where they are released into the water bodies and causes eutrophication due to excessive growth of certain plants. Uh, Eutrophication. What is the eutrophication? In the presence of the sunlight, and when these phosphate and nitrates and nutrients are released into the water bodies, then they called then there is a depletion of the oxygen and other things, and there is a water is covered undesirable vegetation on the water body, so they are harmful for the aquatic life. In such a way, eutrophication is is the excessive growth of certain plants into the water bodies that struck the sunlight and the oxygen, BOD and COD, chemical oxygen demand and biological oxygen demand is reduced. So, inorganic side, which are we are releasing into the water bodies, they ionize the water and hardness. They creates the hardness into the water, which are not usable potable water, which are not we cannot use for the drinking purpose or washing clothes or washing our hairs and other industrial purposes. The corrosion take place into the boilers and tanks and other things and pipes. So it is also affected by the iron oxide is also related. So these now there is a biological, chemical, and now the physical agents, which are the pollutants. What are the suspended solids? Sedimentary solids and temperature are the physical factors that affect the quality of water. Means suspended solids, if we have the suspended solids in air in our atmosphere, they create the pollution. They are harmful for our respiratory system. Then sedimentary solids which are released to the wind into the atmosphere and due to other emissions from the industry, from the vehicles, we had the sedimentary solids. And temperature. If we are helping the natural temperature to increase through various things, various our human activities and industrial activities, we are adding the temperature into the atmosphere, and that increase in the temperature is also affect the quality of the our water. So these are the pollutants which affects our water bodies adversely, and these suspended solids or sedimentary solids also filling the dams and creating the water muddy. Means if the siltation are in the dams, then the water holding capacity is low and the excess water goes as a flood into the nearby areas. So we should avoid the siltation of our dams and canals and other water streams. Suspended organic and mineral solids absorb toxic substances like heavy metals and pass them in a food chain. So, thermal pollution comes when the heat laden water from industries enters the water body. As we know, if we releases the industrial water, which is hot and warm, then it affects our water bodies and the life in living in that particular water bodies. So, in such a way, there are the biological agents, chemical agents, and the physical agents and the radioactive agents, which are helping the pollution to enter into our environmental or water bodies to for the they affect the they creates added to the water pollution. A main reason for the water pollution. Okay, then uh, so in such a way, we can safely say that the water pollution is causes due to the urbanization, deforestation, industrial effluents, correct? Social and other activities, practices, use of detergent and fertilizers for our agriculture, for our domestic purpose, And then there is a agriculture runoffs. uh, when we use the insecticide and pesticide in agriculture, and the when we water our crops, the water goes into the water bodies, excess water, or they percolates down to our underground water. So that also affects adversely the create the pollution to the groundwater. To the so one of the primary cause of water pollution is the contamination of the water bodies by the toxic chemicals and through the four agents, pollutants. As seen example, the dump plastic bottles. If we dump the plastic bottles, stains, water cans, and other waste pollute the water body because they are not biodegradable. Okay, so these are all the human which we are creating, providing harm to the our ecosystem, and it also affects our food chain system. So these are all harmful for the ultimately harmful for the mankind or wildlife or the organism, living organism. So it creates the effect. What are the effects of the water pollution? So water bodies in the vicinity of are extremely polluted. As a result, uh, why it is polluted? Because we are dumping the garbage and toxic chemical by industry and commercial establishment. So water pollution drastically affects aquatic life. It affects metabolism and behavior and causes illness and eventual uh, death of these such type of aquatic life. So aquatic life is important for our ecosystem, as we have discussed already previously about the ecosystem. So such type of things, if we uh, these chemical if we, which we are uh, uncontrollably releasing into the water bodies, they cause growth or cancer. Why? Because we eat fish, chicken, and other meats we are consuming. Some peoples are consuming there. Most of the peoples nowadays are consuming that as a food, and uh, these causes the human entering into the food chain and uh, uh, into the human body. So that causes cancer and other ill effects on the humans. Uh, these water pollution is also has a huge impact on the our food chain system. It it disrupts actually the food chain. Then the cancerous uh, elements like cadmium, chromium, lead, these are pollutants entered into our chain system through animals and fish, then continue to disrupt at high levels. Nowadays the cancer cases are increasing day by day. Even we are using the insecticide and pesticide for the vegetables, and which goes into the water, and that water we use to wash the vegetables, and we are and even in the uh, vegetables, the these enters through the pesticide and um, other fertilizer, pesticide and fertilizers we are using. So these are present in the vegetables. So such type of things are very harmful our uh, ecosystem and human health. Okay. Uh, then if we then there is a marine pollution. How the marine pollution is developed, anybody can say? Anybody can tell? What is the marine pollution? What is the marine pollution?
A combination of chemical and gas land into the ocean.
Okay, good. So, marine pollution is a combination of chemicals and trash, most of which comes from land resources. We throw all the things uh, into the rivers, and these go ultimately to the uh, oceans or marine life. That trace and chemicals which enters into the oceans and seas, and that combination which is are generated from the land into the ocean. The pollution result in damage of the environment, of the health of all organisms that are present in the oceans. Due to oil spillage, there is a marine pollution. Oil spillage, uh, what is oil spillage? When the tankers of oils spilled over the sea, then there is a pollution, marine pollution. And the non some of the major causes of the major marine pollution are the nine non point source pollution, which is nothing but a runoff from the industrial resources or from the land into the sea, into the oceans. Intentional discharge, oil spills, I told you, littering. We are throwing everything into the oceans. Then we, those who live along the oceans, and this that goes after flow goes other areas. Then there is ocean mining for oil, fat, for other minerals. We are doing the ocean mining nowadays, and the which is very harmful to the marine species. Depletion of oxygen level, uh, that is a great threat to human or ecology uh, of our system. Then, uh, so marine pollution is nothing. It is a uh, trash and pollutants that come from land resources to end upon up in the ocean. When we throw something on the land, that goes into the oceans through through steam or directly. These pollution causes widespread damage to the ocean life as well as the economic structure for the marine pollution. When so such type of things, industrial, agriculture, residential, other waste directly, or air pollution is also causes due to the it is a common contributing factor for nitrogen, sulfur, and pesticides are blown into the ocean. So air pollution is also cause one of the reason for the marine pollution. About about the land pollution contributes 80% of the marine pollutants. Okay, and less other things which are 20% is by the air and are the primary contributors to the marine pollution. है ना? Uh, Now, land runoff, ship pollution. I told you the oil spills, and due to the navigation which we are doing for the our this businesses all over the oil is transported through ships and other goods, and for the economical activities we are using the ships. Many ships are flowing into the oceans, so these are also the contributing the marine pollution. Then we doing the deep sea mining, so such type of then what are the types of marine pollution? First is the eutrophication. Now I have already told that Eutro- e- eutrophication is an increase in the chemical nutrients, which is uh, which contains the nitrogen and phosphorus in an ecosystem. What is it cause? The unnecessary growth of plants in the water bodies, and it uh, it affects the lack of oxygen. It affects the oxygen content into the water body. So there is a reduction in the water quality, and it is harmful for the aquatic life. Uh, these are the eutrophication. Then we are uh, dumping the plastic into the water bodies. That also affects the environment of the marine marine animals, and it affects the marine's biological system. Then we are releasing the pesticides and other harmful toxic things into the radioactive waste into the directly into the ocean. So these are some of the reasons of the marine pollution. So we should avoid. And now, what are the how the what are the water quality parameters? Quickly, we should touch also this uh, water quality parameters. What are the what are the water quality parameters, hmm, that assess the quality of the water? Uh, there are the many organization which fixes the quality that up to this limit the water is safe for drinking and industrial and recreational purposes. So these are measured on the content of different elements or different things into the in the water. So for most to ensuring the water quality standards, we have to measure the dissolved oxygen, biological oxygen demand, then the chemical oxygen demand, and the total dissolved solids uh, into the water. So the physical, there are the physical parameters that include color, taste, odor, temperature, turbidity, solids, and electrical conductivity. EC we called it. On the other hand, chemical parameters can include pH, acidity, alkaline, alkalinity, chlorine, hardness, dissolved oxygen, and biological oxygen demands. These are the things which we need to for the water quality standards. Then the dissolved oxygen, it is a chemical parameters, dissolved oxygen. It we all know about the color, order, what should be in the safe for different things. So dissolved oxygen is refers to the amount of oxygen which is uh, dissolved into the water or water bodies of any water resource. So higher amount of oxygen indicates the water quality is good. If there is a higher amount of oxygen which is present in the water quality, we can safely say that water quality is good. If the low concentration is the water, then the water is there are the organic matter presence in the water pollution and water is polluted. So higher amounts is required for the aquatic life and other organisms and for the safe water, drinking water, or for that is uh, required for all purposes. Then biological oxygen demand. What is the biological oxygen demand? That is the measure of oxygen used by microorganisms. present in the atmosphere or in the water bodies, such, such as bacteria to decompose the organic matter like sewage, dead plant leaves, uh, and other thing, and other food waste which are decomposed by the bacteria. If the organic waste is high in the water resource, and more bacteria will be present to consume oxygen. Under such political demand for oxygen will be high, and so the biologic BOD values will be high. With the high levels of BOD, the levels of dissolved oxygen in the water decreases. Now you know the connection between the dissolved oxygen and the biological oxygen demand. What happens when the biological demand is more, then the DO will be less dissolved oxygen because it is consumed by the bacteria and other microorganisms which are helpful for the decaying and decomposing the waste we throw everywhere. In the uh, water bodies, it is also the important thing. Then the chemical oxygen demand. Uh, what is the chemical oxygen demand? Which are required chemically to break down the organic chemical compounds for the level of oxygen which is required for the breaking down of organic material. Uh, uh, water bodies that receives effluent from chemical energy shows high uh, values of COD. So we need more oxygen in that. So it means the dissolved oxygen is required more. So then there is a most probable number that is called MPN. It is related to E. coli bacteria. E. coli bacteria which are important for the decomposition process as act as a decomposer. So E. coliform. Thus, both E. coli coliforms can be detected and enumerated. So MPN is the what is the it is the statistical method which predicts the organism present in the water body. So coliform is present in the human intestine is not necessarily harmful to us, but the its presence indicate the presence of human waste or animal waste or other things in the water. So count of MPN or most probable number, it is the measure of the human or animal waste into the water body. We can measure on that number. Though it means the polluted water which has high MPN number has the high waste of human waste and animal waste. So there should be a low number of MPN in the potable water. Then there is a dissolved solids. Uh, all we know, total dissolved solids, the amount of salts and solid dissolved in the water is measured by the testing the total dissolved solid, which is the measure of the salinity contents into the of the water. Some of the salinity means which is low in pH, and there are the chlorides of the sodium chloride. These are the chloride of sodium. If high, then the water is saline. Some of the dissolved substance that makes the water quality poor are calcium, phosphorus, iron sulfides, carbonates, bicarbonates, nitrates, chlorides, and other things. These are the heavy salts, which if these are present more than 250 into the water, then the water has the high total dissolved solids, 250 pm. It is more in excessive amount. Then this is not good for drinking purpose. We should avoid that, or we should boil it, or we should use the ROs and other water purifier. After purification, we can use it safely. So these are the some of the pollutants reason for the water quality. So we can control the water pollution in many ways, and we have to apply the water quality. Then there is another thing, the temperature. All we know, we should there should be a limited, not more than temperature, which are can cause the adverse effect. We should turbidity. What is the turbidity in the water? That is a physical parameter. Turbidity refers to the clarity or cloudiness of water caused by the presence of suspended particles. So turbidity should be low in the safe water or fresh water. Then the color, electric conductivity measures the ability of water. What is the electric conductivity? We measure also in the our purifier are installed in the house. When then we measure the electric conductivity. So it is the ability of water to conduct an electric current. It gives an idea about the concentration of dissolved solids. If the dissolved solids are high, then the electric conductivity will be higher in the drinking water. Then already we have discussed the dissolved oxygen, TDS, nutrients. Heavy metals are also present. They are very harmful for cancer and other things. These are the lead, mercury, cadmium, and arsenic released by the industry or mining activities into the water bodies, and they can accommodate and can lead to serious risk to human health and aquatic life. So we should not release the heavy metals into the excess quantity into the water bodies. Uh, if they are present in the water bodies, they also affect our groundwater through percolation, and when they also affects our groundwater. So when we in some parts of the country, we know there is a arsenic, uh, excess quantity of arsenic and fluoride, which causes the fluorosis in our human body. So chlorine and fluoride is pH. pH gives an idea about the acidity and alkalinity. Uh, it also influence if there is a more than 7 pH, then there is a alkaline water. Is less than 7, then there is a water nature is acidity. So there should be a 6.5 to 7.5 is good for drinking purpose. Then the pesticide and herbicide, these are the mm, some of the effects of the uh, uh, then the water quality requirements. Drinking water quality standards are fixed by every government, and we in India, mm, uh, IS standards we take. These standards determine the maximum permissible limits and lower permissible limit of the physical, chemical, and biological contaminant in the water. These standards, and there is a US standards also are there, and WHO has also given his standards depending upon the conditions of the country. So and the tolerance limit. These standard addresses parameters such as microbiological contaminants, bacteria, and other heavy metals, pesticides. There is a list. So there are and that is given in the parts per million. So for everything, the environmental water quality standards are given by different organization, and we have to follow those standards in total. Right? There is a soil pollution. Soil pollution, all know, and due to the that soil is very important renewable resource, and It is a basic uh, uh, requirement for sustenance of our life, food, shelter, and clothing, etc. The important जो top layer is up to the 15 centimeter is very important. It is a renewable resources and it is fertile. It is very important on the our land surface, the top soil layer, up to the depth of 15 centimeter. So it the human population contribute the degradation of our soil and surface soil. So uh, this is the what are the main causes of uh, soil pollution is loss of biodiversity. Natural flora and fauna are affected due to the cutting of the forest and other things we have already discussed. Then there is a soil erosion, which is the main is the soil pollution. Then the acidity and alkalinity. When the pH is exceeded uh, more than 7, then the water is alkaline. Alkaline is also affect. Uh, it is the carbonate and bicarbonate uh, uh, in excess. In the acidic soil, we cannot grow good. We cannot take the good crops from the acidic as alkaline soil. It is also harmful for the human consumption. Then we throw the waste land pollution that goes into the soil profile and affects our soil adversely. So such type of things are the which are causes the soil pollution. Then there is a noise pollution. We know that the uh, decibel level of uh, noise pollution, which is very harmful to our ear, even our due to the noise pollution, sometimes our hearing capacity is affected, and that is sound or due to creation by the large uh, uh, decibel of sounds created by the loudspeakers and the horns and other things, such type of things which are using the high pitch of sounds that affects adversely affect on the our health system and also our hearing capacity. So certain up to the 60% decibels dB, which is called 10 to 60% is tolerable and we can use, but more than that, that is harmful to our system. So in such a way, we have discussed today all the water pollution and forest resources. Now I would request you to go through your study material well before the exam and while preparing your uh, assignment section, you have to go through that carefully. And once you read carefully, then there before exam, you will have no other burden on your exam for preparing other subjects. So with this, I request you to prepare well and prepare your assignments. First, go to the study material well yourself and then write the assignment in your. Thank you very much for today and good luck
Sir, I have a one
for your future. And if there is any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we will stop here. And thank you.
hello, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you to
you,
all of
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day. And I hope
When is the next class?
and you